Social Security is not an entitlement. It is an earned benefit. There needs to be an across-the-board increase for all Social Security recipients. And there hasn't been a benefit enhancement in 52 years. This is not the time to cut the program. This is a time to enhance the program.
It's about time. It's been decades since Social Security has been enhanced, modified, the brackets for taxation have been changed, and a lot of people are questioning, why are we even having seniors that are collecting these benefits for retirement, SSI, disability, veterans benefits? They're paying taxes on the Social Security benefits that they're receiving. And Larson, I shared with you, he is fired up. I've got some speeches. He just did one a couple days ago. I shared with you the entire video. And also, I got some video footage from months ago. He has been pushing for Social Security reform in 2023, the year of Social Security reform. And he's saying, why are we charging them taxes again? And he clarifies, this is not an entitlement program. This is something that people have earned. They've paid into their entire lives. Now they're receiving the benefits back that they've paid into. We tax them when they put it in, and now we're taxing them when they take it out. Now, there's a piece of legislation that's been presented in Congress that is saying we should wipe out taxation altogether. It's literally been 30, 40 years since the tax brackets have been changed, and they're saying, why do we even have tax brackets for those that collect these benefits, that rely on these fixed income benefits? And it's those that are collecting these fixed income benefits that are hit the hardest and hurt the most from inflation. And right now, inflation is out of control. And so I'm going to share with you in detail in this video some of the things that they're saying need to change about the taxation. And also, they're just saying across the board enhancements need to be made because those that are collecting these benefits, it's just simply not keeping up. And we need to take care of those that have paid into this their entire lives, that are depending on this. It is our moral obligation as a society to make sure that we take care of our seniors, our disabled, those on SSI, our veterans. Let me know your thoughts. Now, as I mentioned, I've got some video footage, and I want to cover this in detail in some articles that just came out a couple days ago, so that way you can see the latest on Social Security. And also, if you missed my video, stick around to the end. Big changes, massive changes announced in a press release from the White House, as Biden has said there's going to be a changing of hands. There's going to be some big things happening here with Social Security. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do me a quick favor, smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at what Larson had to say on the taxation here in just a second. But first, take a look at this article. It came out about 3 days ago. A new bill proposes eliminating Social Security's most hated tax. Does it have legs? What we're hearing is a resounding yes from society. People are saying Congress needs to push this through because the vast majority of people are saying that we pay taxes when we put in. Why are we paying taxes when we pull out? Now, jumping down to the article, it says that 40 years ago, back in 1983, we were pretty much in the same situation that we are now. It says that our Social Security system was running on veritable fumes. Congress passed, and then President Ronald Reagan signed into law the last major overhaul of the Social Security program. Had Congress failed to take action, sweeping benefit cuts would have almost certainly have been necessary to sustain payouts, just like we're seeing today. Now, this is what they did 40 years ago. The amendment of 1983 introduced a number of permanent changes, including a gradual increase to the full retirement age, so they increased it from 65 to 67, a modest but gradual boost to the payroll tax rate, and the taxation of benefits, which took effect in 1984. Now, the new bracket that they added is that benefits over $25,000 for an individual or $32,000 for a couple would pay 50% in taxes. Now, in 1993, a second tier of taxation was added by the Clinton administration that allowed 85% of total Social Security benefits to become taxable at a federal rate if an individual or a couple's provisions of income top $34,000 to $44,000 respectively. Now, the idea of taxing Social Security benefits does not sit well with retirees. Let me know your thoughts. I think everyone probably would agree. Take a look at this poll. It says, should Social Security income be taxed? 4,900 voters were asked this question, and out of them, 94% have chosen no, not at all, because we pay taxes when we put in. Now we got to pay when we take out. That's not even how the 401k works. We don't pay taxes when we put in, but we pay when we take out, unless you've got a Roth IRA or something where you're taxed when you put in, and then you're not taxed when you take out. And now they're simply saying we just need to get rid of this altogether. And this is something that a lot of these pieces of legislation are proposing. We've had the Social Security Expansion Act, the 2100 Act, several of these that are saying get rid of the taxation. Just that in and of itself will provide a massive enhancement or increasement, a bump up to the benefits for a lot of people. But in addition to getting rid of the taxation, people actually need to tangibly see the increase. It's time to bump up those benefits as well. Let me know your thoughts. We've had promises from the Biden administration of an additional $200 per month to go out to all recipients of Social Security across the board. We've also heard the minimum payout should be increased to 120% of the poverty level, which would give a $485 per month bump up to those receiving the minimum amounts. So some pretty substantial, nice, juicy increases, and people sure could use it because right now things are out of control with inflation. And as they mentioned, these are fixed income benefits. So as inflation increases, it just gets more difficult for those people receiving these benefits to live day to day, just to survive. It's not even thriving. It's just making it paycheck to paycheck. And we have got to take care of those that rely on this. Now, let's take a look at these speeches. One was just from about a week ago, and one was a couple months ago, but he's still saying the same thing with the same passion and fire. We have got to take care of those on Social Security.
The gentleman from Connecticut, Mr. Larson, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to address the body and seek to revise and extend my remarks. Madam Speaker, Ronald Reagan was prescient in his description of Congress, especially as Congress addresses issues, most specifically the debt ceiling. Here's what Ronald Reagan had to say about Congress. He says, Congress consistently brings government to the edge of default before facing its responsibility. This brinkmanship threatens the holders of government bonds and those who rely on Social Security and veterans benefits. And let me repeat that. Those who rely on Social Security, you could add Medicare, and veterans benefits. That's what's at stake here. Reagan went on to say interest rates would skyrocket, instability would occur in the financial markets, and the federal deficit would soar. Why then would our colleagues on the other side of the aisle hold the American economy hostage? Well, in their own words, so they can cut Social Security and Medicare. They call these programs entitlements. Let us be clear, and for all of those listening to this, make sure you call your member of Congress and let them know that Social Security is not an entitlement. It is an earned benefit, something that people pay for weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And how do they know? How do we trust and verify this? All you have to do is go to your pay stub. It says FICA. That stands for Federal Insurance Contribution. That's Federal Insurance Contribution. Whose? Yours. The more than 66 million Americans who contribute to this program. It's an earned benefit. It is not an entitlement. They clearly are entitled to their Social Security. But here we have the ruse of the year. We're going to hold the American economy hostage so that we can make cuts to a program that Congress hasn't enhanced in more than 52 years. On our watch, ours being every member of Congress, we cannot let this persist. Fortunately, because of hard work in the past, Seniors are receiving a COLA this year because of COVID. But it's not been reformed, it's not permanent, and there hasn't been a benefit enhancement in 52 years. In 1971, a loaf of bread cost 72 cents. I don't have to go through the litany of what costs have risen. And with 10,000 baby boomers a day becoming eligible for Social Security, this is not the time to cut the program. This is a time to enhance the program so that all of our seniors, especially those who were hit hardest by the pandemic. How do we know this? Of the more than 1 million people who have passed away from the pandemic, over 750,000 are over the age of 65. And who's impacted most by inflation? Those people who are on fixed income. And by definition, those on Social Security are on a fixed income and need our help the most during this time of inflation. It impacts every single district in this country. On average, there are 147,000 Social Security recipients in every congressional district. And to deny them the enhancements that they need during this inflationary time and during a time period when Congress has not enhanced the program in more than 52 years is long overdue. I yield back.
Wow, let me know your thoughts. I think it's good to see somebody standing up for this because we heard this was going to be the year of reform, yet we have failed to see Congress make any traction on any of these pieces of legislation so far. And I like the fact that he's saying August 14th, it's time. Let's get this done. Now, in addition to that, as I let you know, there has been some traction in the fact that Social Security has been pushed to the forefront, and the Biden administration has called for new leadership, and we're going to see potentially some big changes coming here very soon, hopefully. To get the latest on that, check out this video right here as I cover it in detail. And also, if you want to see the full speech that Larson released, check out this video right here next too. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll keep you up to date on everything happening with Social Security, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.